Hello, everyone. I'm Michelle Carlson from the Lansing Art Gallery and Education Center. I'm the education director, and today we're talking with our Sarah Jane Venable Scholarship Award winner from Art Scholarship Alert, Arabella B, and her art teacher from Okemos High School, Rachel Hollenbeck. Thank you two for coming and joining us in this conversation today. Arabella, why don't you start out and tell us about yourself and about a little bit about your art.
Okay. Hi, I'm Arabella. I'm 18. I'm an AP Art student at Okemos High School. I'm a senior. A little bit about my art. I make a lot of portraiture. It's my favorite thing to make, and I really enjoy art that's very personal. A lot of my art is a reflection of myself, and that's pretty much it.
That's good. What is your medium you most enjoy working with, and why did you choose that? Or what makes you attracted to that medium or process?
I would say my favorite medium to use are colored pencils. I used to only do all my art in black and white. I feel like a lot of people do, they're intimidated by color. But I remember one Christmas, my mom had gotten me like a very nice set of pencils, and I felt really bad about neglecting them and never using them. So I did a project for class, and I really enjoyed it. And I like how smooth they are and how you can get like a really nice product of realism at the end. And I just am very involved with color, and I enjoy it a lot now.
That's great. How long have you been an artist, or when did you start making art? And have you had any other formal art training besides art classes you have taken at school?
I guess I've been an artist since like a child before any type of schooling. We have these like memory boxes for all my siblings, and like my siblings are all like trophies in sports, but mine are just embarrassing elementary and middle school art that are all shoved inside there. I haven't had any formal training outside of school. I have taken like every art elective that I had time to do, and this year I took figure study classes at the Williamson High School every Tuesday for around 2 months. So I guess that's the most like outside of class that I've done so far.
Great. Mrs. Hollenbeck, how would you describe Arabella as an artist, and what makes her stand out so much?
When I first met Bella, she was right. She didn't use as much color. She's very good at emotional work. A lot of her work, as she said, represents her and how she feels in her life and people in her life. And I will say that what I really enjoy about her is her willingness to talk with me about her art. I mean, every day, my favorite part of the day is when she comes, well, not anymore, but back when we were in school, my favorite part of the day was when we would have some time in my little independent study with her, and she would come up to me with her artwork, and she'd have some thoughts. Like, she had all of these organized thoughts about what she wanted to do, and she'd give me options and I'd give her options, and then we would kind of agree on an option together, and we'd talk further and further about it. She lives art all day, every day. Her sketchbooks are insanely amazing. You can just see that art isn't just something she does, it's who she is. That's really what I think about when I think about Bella. So
great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bella, you have won the Sarah Jane Venable Scholarship, which is a $1,000 scholarship for your portfolio and your artistic excellence, and it's to be used to further your art education. Do you have plans yet of how you're going to do that?
Yes, I do. I've committed myself to attending SAIC in the fall, which is very exciting. Moving to a new state, going to school, it's pretty pricey, so I'm pretty excited about getting the scholarship. It's an honor to be awarded with it, and yeah, I definitely am planning on putting it to good use.
Great. And for those who don't know, can you tell us a little bit more the acronym means and where this school is?
Yes, it's the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. It's right in the heart of downtown Chicago. It's very pretty there. It's I think number 9 on the top 10 best art schools in the world, and yeah, it's really nice down there.
Congratulations. That's so wonderful and exciting. Do you have any thoughts about what you might want to do with your art in the future, or are you just going to explore?
The degree I'm going for is a Bachelor of Fine Arts with an emphasis in art education. So I would like to become an art teacher one day, probably teach high school, maybe college in the future. I would like to have my own gallery. I think that would be really nice to do, like in the summers and when I'm not in the classroom.
Great. Those are all things that are wonderful and needed in our world. Mrs. Hollenbeck, how long have you taught art, and how did you get started with it?
I took every art class in high school, but where I grew up in a small rural town, art was just something fun. I never realized until I went to college that there were jobs in art and that there were people that did art, and I was like, wow. So I actually started as an art history major at Michigan State University, and I loved art history. I loved it, but I also loved the education side of it, and I actually decided to switch about my second year in and become more art education based, and I'm really happy I did that. And then after that, I've been teaching at Okemos High School for 14 years, and I've been teaching AP art for 10 years. This is my 10th class, and Bella is my 3rd Sara Jane Venable kid, so I'm so excited and proud of her for that. She definitely deserves it, and I really appreciate that Okemos Public Schools has so many wonderful classes for our students and for art. We have 10 different classes offered, and my AP art class has 19 kids in it this year. So I'm just very fortunate and happy that even their little community in the classroom is amazing. I'm very hard on my kids. I really push them extremely hard, and I think that a lot of them really rise to the occasion. So I know I'm tough sometimes. Bella can probably agree to that. But I'm tough because I just know they can do better and do more and really show who they are through their art. So
That's wonderful. Well, I didn't realize you were at Okemos for so many years, but
I know today I was thinking about the number. I'm like, oh my gosh, wow.
that's really amazing. And why do you think art offered in the schools to kids is so important?
I think that it's really important to take creative risks. And I think it's really important, especially in the school district I teach. It's a very academic, rigorous school. And I think that the art room is just a wonderful place for kids to take those creative risks and say who they are through their art. And like, I always ask my kids, but why are you doing it? Like, what are you trying to say? And I just think that it's a wonderful outlet and a wonderful therapy, which me and Bella have talked about this a lot. I know that she says her art is extremely therapeutic to her. So she is a true, reflection of what I think the arts are. I just think it's so important and so wonderful at that age to be able to express themselves through their art. So
Great, thank you. And Arabella, what do you think, or why do you think art should be offered in schools like you have the
I think
opportunity?
it's very important to have those outlets for expressing yourself, and it is true, like a lot of my classes this year have only been, oh, this will look good on your college applications and you should want to push yourself more, and it's about the grades. But every time I go to the art room, it's like, oh, I'm finally somewhere where I can take my deep breath for the day. And even for kids that don't want to major in art and go into school, I think it's always beneficial to have something that is a little bit of a break in the day, allows for some creativity and a little bit more relaxation than like going to chemistry and calculus and everything like that.
Yep.
That is true. Okay, as we're going to wrap up here our conversation today, Arabella, do you have any advice for young artists as they, I know working with younger kids, they sometimes get frustrated or they want to do everything perfect on the first try and may give art up. Do you have any advice for them how to push through and continue developing their own artistic creation and abilities?
Um, I would definitely say that it's easy to get frustrated with yourself when you're making art because it never is perfect of what you're imagining in your head to what you're putting on the paper, but not to let it discourage you and to practice every single day because that's the only way you'll be able to build up those skills to like be proud of yourself and to be able to express yourself in the way that you're desiring to and to not make it so serious all the time. It doesn't always have, it could be silly, it could be fun. You can do art just to make people laugh and to just always enjoy it. Find enjoyment in it, or else there's no point in doing it.
That's great. And do you want to share anything else before we go? Any other thoughts?
Um, no, not
No?
particularly.
Okay. Well, I just want to congratulate you, and you should be very proud, and we wish you the best. And hopefully we can celebrate your art in person soon, maybe in the summer sometime. And Mrs. Hollenbeck, do you have any advice for young artists or even younger art teachers as they embark on their artistic journeys?
Yeah, I think it's important to tell young artists to not be afraid of their art teachers, to really talk to them because especially with Bella, she's the perfect case of, you know, someone who kind of was always a good artist and kind of did her own thing, but then over time she has really developed with talking with me, talking with classmates, you know, researching things online. And I would say one of the biggest things that I think has also allowed her to grow in the last year is experimentation with other materials and just really thinking outside the box, not just pencil, you know, and her art has really flourished. I mean, the piece she made with the coffee filters, Bella would have never done that a year ago. And I just think it's one of her best pieces. And I think she's proud of it as well. So my advice to younger kids would be really explore and really get outside the bubble of everything, because if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but you tried and you could have made something really cool. So I'm just really proud of Bella and everything she's done, and I'm so excited for her to go to art school next year because she's going to be with all these amazing people that are going to be just like her, but diverse. And it's going to just really catapult her art into a whole new way that she has no idea. And I'm so happy for her. So, yes.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank you both and for supporting our programming at the Lansing Art Gallery and to supporting your students in their pursuit of art, because you do really create a lot of talent that, as we've seen over the years in this competition. And I hope you keep in touch, Arabella, and let us know how you're doing next year. And hopefully we'll convene soon together in person and can celebrate all the accomplishments for Art Scholarship Alert. So thank you two very much, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.